The stream is live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adventure on So Many Levels. We're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons. Hey, I am Christiana Ellis, the Dungeon Master. Tonight, our players are Vivid Muse as Amethyst.
Hi, happy birthday, Starla!
Well, way to steal my thunder. I was going to introduce her last and everything so I could do it, but you know.
I'm a big dumb kid. I'm sorry.
You just
I
rolled
ruin everything. You can say it. I ruin everything.
You just everything. You rolled high on your initiative, and I have to respond in the moment like a good dungeon master.
You also set a precedent now. We all have to say it.
Yeah. We also have Mark Kilfoyle as Alark Copperbeard.
Normally this would be a quote from Alark, but happy birthday, Starla!
James Meltzer as Ket of the Sands.
Hi.
Jenny Meltzer as Cadence of the Water.
Happy birthday, Starla!
And last but not least, the birthday girl, Starla Hutchton as Nirakina Ethu.
Greetings and salutations. And thank you.
Wait. I forgot one thing.
Uh-oh.
It's tradition around here, these So Many Levels parts, that when somebody has a birthday, being the bard that I am,
No.
we have to sing happy
No, we
birthday.
don't.
'Cause we all know how well that went last time.
Yeah.
Someone had a birthday
We really
in this
don't.
stream. So, I figured we'd give it the old college try and sing Starla happy birthday. You all don't have to join in if you don't want to.
Well, I am
It's
happy
encouraged.
to join in, and I will even encourage everyone to do so. But with the caveat that everyone who's not an experienced streamer should know that there is tiny bits of lag that are generally invisible in normal conversation, but will become immediately apparent if we try to sing in unison.
This
So
is gonna
It
be
will become
so
a birthday
good.
dirge.
I'll count down with my fingers. 1, 2, 3. All right.
okay.
So here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Star. Happy birthday to you.
Starla!
That was top notch, guys. That's what I've come to expect from everyone.
Well
So many
done.
levels. Give yourselves a hand.
Oh.
I didn't wish Starla a happy birthday on Facebook. I didn't say anything to her all day because I was waiting for this moment. So happy birthday, Starla.
Thanks.
Very
You guys
nice.
are awesome.
Well, I'm super glad that I get to see you today because in years past we've celebrated birthdays together, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, there's no rum in this, but I wish there was, and that we were together, sweetie. Happy birthday!
All right.
All right. Can we get the feels out of the way now? We're done.
Now let's get some dwarf goo on us.
Yes.
That
Well,
live
Wait a minute now. I don't know what kind of present you're expecting.
Well, it turns out that in addition to it being a birthday, it is also Dungeons and Dragons Day. So let's talk a little bit about what happened last time. Well, you guys, in making your journey, attempting to reach the fabled tree Emerit Arboris, have gotten some mixed information about where it is and what its current status is. But as you arrived in the desert, you found it looking slightly more translucent than it used to, but apparently there, and yet some sort of a magic, energy or barrier or effect of some kind was preventing you from reaching it. You would be magically misdirected every time you tried to go to the tree, arriving instead at a little oasis. And you decided that even though you were pretty much all on the same page that the oasis was clearly some kind of a trap, you would approach nonetheless to at least see what its deal was. When you arrived at the oasis, what you found is a couple of different features. There's, as you would expect from an oasis, there's a small sort of pond. There's, palm trees here and there. There's a butte, sort of a rock outcropping that has the ruins of an old fortress built into it. And there are some stones from these ruins taken and used to make a line down the middle of the oasis. And as you approach, you discovered that there were two factions of individuals at this oasis. One was a group of albino dwarves who explained that they were the remnants of an archaeological party intending to study the ruins, if that's what they were, or otherwise investigate legends of this tree, the tree whose roots make the world. They're led by Igtha Strongarm. And according to what they told Alaric and Nira and Feathercrest, your Aarakocra friend, and Melicanth, they've been there for some weeks, or some months rather. And they are trapped because not only are they unable to get to the tree, but anytime they try to leave the oasis, they are similarly redirected right back to it. Meanwhile, the other group was a group of miscellaneous mercenaries led by a tabaxi named Cobb of the oasis. That's how he introduced himself. And they say that they likewise have been at the oasis for a couple of months and are similarly trapped. And they told this to Ket and Cadence. And the things that your party combined does not know is that the two versions of the story that you got from these two groups don't line up. They each claim to have been the party that arrived there first, and they have different explanations for the conflict that led to them having the oasis divided in two the way it is. But they do both say that the reason it's divided in two is because there's a witch living in the fortress ruins that is their only supply of clean food and water. You guys, not content to engage with the NPCs that I provided, decided to use your Windwalk spell to go right into the fortress right away and discovered the witch. Apparently is a woman who looks exactly like Amethyst, except that her hair was brown instead of white. This woman did not answer a lot of your questions, but basically said she knows you're here to get to the tree. The way to the tree is going to require a lot of patience, which she will require that you demonstrate by not barging into her fortress home uninvited and to go back outside and wait until she comes to you. And as you are leaving, she does ask that Amethyst stay behind, and she attempts to do something that leaves you, does you some serious psychic damage, Amethyst, and she apologizes then, saying that you're obviously not ready yet. And so Amethyst comes out with the rest of the party to ponder her fate. And this is where the rest of the party splits up to hear out the two sides here. But something is still mysterious going on here. Each of you, several of you have felt some sort of a magical effect try to wash over you. Some of you, it, was clear what it was happening, and so essentially, there's a lot of suspicious stuff going on, and it all seemed to lead to this one particular dwarf who was acting really strange, hadn't been sleeping apparently, and so you kind of tried to help him. You discovered some strange magical effects around him, but were not able to really identify what quite was going on. Nira had briefly attempted to dispel any evil magic that might be on him, which seemed to work at least at first, but then he started attacking again, and that all led up to Nira, in an attempt to stop him from attacking someone, using Shocking Grasp on him, at which point he splattered like a water balloon, spraying viscous red slime all over everybody in the immediate vicinity, which includes Malacanth and Feathercrest and Nira and Igtha and several of the other dwarves. At which point, pretty much everyone started screaming, and that's where we left things. So, the very first thing that I would like you to do, Nira, is as you are covered with dwarf goo, please make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Pretty good at those. So we'll see.
Phrasing.
Dwarf goo? I mean, you have to have a dirty mind to misinterpret that.
It's a 25.
For the
25.
second time, Mark. Dirty mind.
So, yes, once again, you feel that you've got this slime all over you, and you feel this magical effect try to wash over you, but you are able to resist it. Your honed mind and your powerful divine connection is shielding you so far from whatever this effect is. Meanwhile, everyone else, like I said, who was in that immediate vicinity has got this stuff all over them. Where the slime touched the ground, it seemed to absorb immediately, leaving no trace.
Can we see this happening from where we are on the other side of the...
No, we'll come back to you in just a second.
Okay.
We're going to rewind in time in just a moment. But let's see, oops.
Can I use prestidigitation to wash this off?
Yes. And in fact, that is what Malacanth and Feathercrest are both in the process of doing themselves, when all of a sudden Feathercrest gasps in pain.
Oh, no.
13.
I've only got one left.
33, 36. And she falls completely unconscious and is not breathing.
I gotta check on her.
Okay, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to use control water to hose us all down.
Okay, are you using the water from the oasis, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll come back to that in a moment,
No,
but
No.
let's go back and revisit Ket and Cadence, though, who we had last had speaking with the mercenaries over on the other side of this oasis, and Ket observed, after feeling some sort of powerful psychic drain of his own, observed this dwarf, that the now splattered dwarf, although he didn't know this at the time, acting suspiciously, had sent a message and so on. And so as you were kind of continuing your conversation with these mercenaries, both of you please make a perception check for me.
18.
Natural one.
Well, Cadence, you notice as you are having this conversation that after there was some brief discussion of that dwarf that was watching, one of the mercenaries, you realize one of the mercenaries has been sitting up kind of on top of their little shelter that they made and has been watching over at the other, camp very intently. And as your conversation is continuing after a couple of minutes, all of a sudden that mercenary, who's a fire genasi woman, she suddenly gasps in pain and falls backward, kind of tumbling off the shelter at the exact time that you suddenly, you had heard some activity over on the other side, but that was the moment where you suddenly heard people going, "Ah!"
I will run over to where she lands.
Okay.
and kneel down to like inspect her to see if she's like still breathing or.
Yes. So this Genasi woman is breathing. She looks shaken and startled, and when she looks up at you, she basically is saying, "What just happened?"
What did you see? You looked like something startled you. What happened?
I don't remember. She suddenly looks dizzy. She's about to fall.
Are you hurt?
Do you like hold out a hand to keep her from falling?
Yeah.
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 Make a wisdom saving throw, please.
That is 17.
All right. Let me count here again. You take 36 points of psychic damage as you suddenly, just this blinding headache just takes you to your knees, and you now, like the others who have suffered this effect, currently have a D4 that you must subtract from your attack rolls and ability checks.
Okay.
I run over to Cadence. What's wrong? Are you okay? What happened?
I don't know. I was trying to help her and something.
Did you get the headache too?
Yes.
Incidentally, while this is happening, you are hearing constant screaming from the other camp that something very alarming has happened over there.
I think we better get over to the other side because I don't know what's going on, but I bet you it's Nira's fault.
Okay.
Yeah, the mercenaries that are all there at that camp look like alarmed, like they don't know what's happening, but they don't seem to want to get approached, like they're scared about whatever it is.
Look, have no fear. We will be back, and we will go investigate as to what is going on and report back to you all here. Cobb, you keep your people here safe, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. What's going on?
I don't know. That's what we're going to find out, okay? Just stay put. It's okay, man. We got this.
See to your friend.
Yeah.
Here.
So,
But don't touch her.
So back over at the other camp, you started using the oasis water to wash the slime off yourself first, or?
Well, for using control water, it's like redirect flow. So I was just gonna kind of like splash like towards me and then like hit as many people as I can with it.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to say is that it is an action's worth to get all of the slime off of one person.
Okay.
So if you're using your turn to get it off yourself first, that's your turn. So
Okay.
we're not strictly in initiative, but just for the purposes of there's lots of things happening here.
Okay.
In the meantime, the instincts being similar, Melicanth has spent, about 30 seconds trying to remove all of the slime from herself first. But she wasn't finished yet when Feathercrest went down, so she switched and started doing it for Feathercrest. But then as soon as she finished with Feathercrest, she suddenly jerks out and and she goes down to her knees, but she's not unconscious. But she has apparently suffered this same effect.
So did Feathercrest get uncovered then?
Yes, so got all the slime off of her, but she is still unconscious and not breathing.
Okay. And Melicanth still has some on her, and I still have some on me?
Yes.
Okay.
And there's several of the other dwarves that have run to the water and are washing themselves off.
There will be a glance at the corner of my eye. Is the water bad for them? Because it was supposedly acidic or something.
What they said is that it's not safe to drink.
Right, okay. Mildly poisonous, I guess is the idea.
Well, it's also fairly clear that this red slime doesn't seem great
Much
either.
worse.
So
Yeah. I'm going to see to Feathercrest and see if I
Okay.
can...
yeah, she is not breathing. She is unconscious. She is she is making a death saving throw. That's one
Nirkina.
success.
Nirkina.
Is it
Something's
possible?
What are
is
you
it
doing, by the way, Amethyst?
I'm running over to where everybody's yelling and
Okay.
sounding traumatized.
Yeah.
Is it possible to use spare the dying while I'm still controlling water, or no?
I think so, because control water, I think, is concentration. So you're just keeping that
Yeah.
up. Well, so I think you can maintain concentration even if you take an action out to use spare the dying.
Okay.
So you are briefly letting the water go, but still holding the spell in concentration to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I will boop her with spare the dying.
Okay, great. And I think at this point, Cadence and Ket probably are running over at this point. And it is, we're in kind of slow motion because we're describing these things, but a lot's happening right now. It's very chaotic. Everyone is kind of screaming and trying to get the slime off of themselves. Melicanth is sort of still reeling from that, whatever it was. And
I'm gonna hit her with the water next.
okay, yeah, she. There's a brief moment where you get her with the water, and there's kind of just a moment of like, that was awful, but thank you. Incidentally, the water does smell bad. It's just very minerally, it's as previous. It's kind of sulfury, brimstoney, but like it doesn't burn you or anything.
Okay, good.
So I want to cast Mass Cure Wounds, but I don't know which 6 to target. What is so
Okay.
Feathercrest is awake, but
Yeah. Well, no, she's not awake.
unconscious.
She is
Okay.
stabilized but unconscious.
okay.
Melicanth has
Melic-
taken a hit. Cadence just took a hit. She's looking woozy as she kind of comes over. And
I
then
took a hit.
Didn't I get you with
No,
prayer of healing?
you didn't
You were
specifically
not.
because
I
she
didn't
wasn't
get him?
sitting with the rest. Well, I don't
Because
remember.
it was
actually.
whoever I could see.
Yeah, but
From
they
where
were
it
on,
was.
they were on the other
Yeah.
side of the oasis
Yeah.
in the other camp.
Cadence got me with some bit of healing just as before we left off last week, but I'm still down some hit points.
So I'm going to hit Cadence and Ket and Alaric. I can hit 6 targets. And it was 10,
Feathercrest.
18,
Mhm.
26 points of healing. So them, and then I've got Feathercrest and I think Melicanth are the most
Mhm.
dire at that point. So that's
Yeah.
5. Is there anybody left on our side that
I'm fine.
any? Okay.
Yeah. So with 26 healing, Feathercrest is she's up again. She is not at full, but she's much better. But she's still looking just like shocked. And I think most of you have kind of felt the punch of this thing yet. In fact, I think only Nira hasn't had it hit them yet
Right.
successfully.
Right.
I look at Nira and the mess that's going on. I'm just like, I see you got my message.
It's not my fault.
I'm gonna help with any dwarves that still have this
Okay.
goo on them with
Yeah,
prestidigitation.
A couple of them seem to also kind of have some sort of an effect, but they're getting all washed off. No one else goes unconscious.
Pressure washing everybody.
Yeah. So yeah, over the course of the next minute or so, everybody is able to wash the the remnants of this stuff off, and Melicanth, glancing around, just kind of observes. It only stuck to living beings. It instantly absorbed everywhere else.
Yeah, I caught that.
So does it come from this place, or is it a thing on its own?
So the thing is, do they have to be attuned to the ring to look through it and see what I see?
I think so. Like,
Okay.
strictly speaking, we didn't define that particular power of the ring extremely well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. So when I was looking earlier, trying to figure out what's wrong, what was wrong with the ex-dwarf, there's this weird shimmer to everything. It's hard to explain.
Melicanth, she hears you say that and actually kind of seems to realize something, then makes eye contact with you, Nira, and just
So what happened with the exploding dwarf? What the hell spell was that?
I think
Yeah, man.
it's just a little zap to get him off that guy. It wasn't-
Incidentally, all of the dwarves are like clustered away from you at this point. They all seem scared of you guys.
Oh my god, you're
and-
C3PO.
And then over at the line, you have the mercenaries going, "What's going on over there?"
We don't know.
Stay away from gray goo.
Stay away. There is some dangerous goo over here that exploded out of a dwarf. So just hang back. We're working on solving the problem. Cobb, we're gonna need some time, so just keep your men back.
Melicanth kind of sidles up to you, Nira, and she kind of casually, like in a way, she's trying to be subtle about it, but she kind of gestures to you at the ground around the oasis, and what you realize she's pointing at is that you just used control water to bring a lot of that water out and just spray it and splash it everywhere. The ground does not look wet.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, a little.
Moments of quiet contemplation.
I mean, I know that
That's
that's
weird.
I don't know.
I'm gonna like scoop up a handful of the sand that's around here and just kind of like sift it through my fingers.
So you realize, make a perception check as you do that.
Ooh, that was a natural 20
Oh,
plus 9. So
here's what you see then with all of that. With that extremely high perception is you basically see exactly what's happening. So the first thing that's really obvious is that you reach down and you get a handful of sand, and then as you lift it up, the ground doesn't look any different. And then as you try it again, you realize as you go to touch the ground, your fingertips disappear about half an inch above the ground. And you realize the blurriness you saw before is there is apparently an illusion of some sort that only covers half an inch above the ground. So the effect you saw before, there wasn't any illusions on any of the people or any of the plants or anything like that, but there's apparently an illusion half an inch above the ground.
okay. I feel like dispel magic is not quite gonna cut it here.
Depends on how high we cast it.
So just for my own, this is gonna look super weird. Like nobody's gonna have any idea what's going on.
There goes Nirakina again, doing this
So-
something weird.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lay flat on the ground, like with my face like directly on the ground, because I
Okay.
think half an inch I might be able to peer underneath it.
I
Maybe.
I think you get sand on your face. I mean, half an inch, like, there's not... I don't think
But
there's...
if people were watching me, they would maybe pick up on something weird that happens with my
Yeah,
face.
so how about this? Everyone can make a perception check as Nira is laying on her face on the ground.
Look, Nira, I know you're tired. We're all tired, but this is no time to take a nap. Okay?
I say if you get above 12, you see what Nira has observed, that there is some kind
21.
of an illusion.
18.
22.
17.
Okay.
22. What, Nira? What are you doing?
Huh.
I get down.
back
Too.
up.
I'm gonna get down. I'm gonna get down.
I
Like
think at
Damn.
as you're laying down, if you look back up at Melicanth, she'll just kind of mouth to you, "Someone is watching." You know, for audio, she's mouthing, "Someone is watching."
Of course they are, because it's a trap.
Everything
I
is-
point at the tower, or I point at the tower. I'm like you think it's the witch?
The witch.
Well, you know, so I think all of you, if you're paying attention to Melicanth, you'll get the impression that what she's trying to communicate is that maybe you guys shouldn't let on how much you've realized about what's happening.
Yeah.
I would like to walk slightly away and use my primeval awareness again to see if I can sense the dragon.
Okay. Does it takes you a minute to do that?
It just says one action. Yep, 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah. So you sit down and begin that meditation. And so you're doing that for a moment. Is anyone else doing anything immediately?
I'm gonna go sit down and think because
Yeah.
this is weird.
Yeah. So it would seem that since you guys managed to wash all the slime away, there have been no new like attacks, or if that's even what you call it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna
I'm
go
just gonna-
talk to those dwarves.
I'm gonna go stand next to some
Okay.
random dwarf and just
Alright.
be like, "Hey, what's going on, man?"
All right. So I think Alaric and Ket kind of both walk over to the dwarves.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
They look extremely wary of you. Igtha, I think, says, please, just for caution, I would ask you to keep about 10 feet right now. I don't think you guys are doing this on purpose, but nothing like this happened before you showed up.
So you didn't have any red goo.
No. I mean, please, I'm the first to admit that I don't understand all of this magic stuff, but no, none of our company exploded into red slime before you guys showed up. So we're a little bit jumpy.
What about that one, though? He was keeping to himself. He seemed spooked already.
Yeah, he seemed like he was having a hard time dealing with us being magically stranded in an oasis for months.
But was that something typical of that dwarf? Did he have a weak part to him?
I don't know.
As part of your team, you should know all of your team.
Well, I know him well enough, but what I'm telling you is there was nothing about him that would have indicated to me at any point that he might someday explode into red goo.
Sure, that's hard to predict, but
Is there anything left of the goo dwarf, or is it just?
There is nothing. He literally just seemed to dissolve entirely, and then at least what you can see is that it seems to have like not even left any mark on the ground at all, and then everything that was on any person has been washed away.
Is there anybody else that's acting? And I'm going to ask this. To
Make an insight check, Alaric. Sorry,
Oh, dear.
I don't mean to cut you off, but this.
no, it's okay.
insight. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can do that. 15.
Yeah, you get a little bit of a hint that Igtha is not being completely forthright with you.
What was his name? The dwarf that exploded.
Grangrom, I told you.
Ryan Grom, right.
Yeah.
And you don't know much about him.
Well, he was a member of the expedition along with 30 other people.
What was his role? What did he do for you?
He carried stuff.
He carried stuff?
Yeah. We had a lot of stuff to carry, believe it or not, except that a lot of it was lost in the sandstorm.
Wow. And how long had he been acting strange?
We've been here a couple of months.
What about the rest of you? Are you all feeling strange, or are you going to deal with this?
They all look like they're feeling extremely strange right now on account of having one of their member splatter into red goo. So they're...
That's fair.
Igtha, honestly, is the only one who seems like she's even willing to talk to you guys. The rest of them are like, you know, they're looking like they're trying to figure out what they will do if you try to come closer.
I don't know what this oasis is. I don't know what's happening here. But I do know that I'm not staying here for the rest of my life. And if I can help it, you're going to come with us.
Well, that would be great. If you figure something out, please let us know.
Well, you'll be the first to know, I'm sure.
Do you mind if I can I look around on the ground? Is there like a stone or a stick or anything on the
Well,
ground?
I want to come back to Amethyst,
Okay.
too, because she did start to do something
that's
before
right,
I
yeah.
brought up the... You were looking around, too?
I wanted to ask the dwarf that Alaric is talking to if anyone else is acting or feeling similarly, because Nira doesn't do anything harmful to people unless they've attacked us,
Mm-hmm.
or there's money, or books.
Yeah.
or,
So
I mean, there's a list
stuff.
of
Or
things.
actually, it's kind of a long list. But in
Yeah.
this case, she was trying to help the person. I'm guessing.
mhm.
So,
Well, I mean,
is there anybody else acting off or feeling weird in any way?
So what Igtha says is she kind of looks around to everybody. It's like, I mean, you guys would tell me if you were going to explode into red goo, right?
I mean, just based on what you have observed this
No,
person going through.
Brangrom of all of us was the one who was having the hardest time with being here. None of us are happy about it, and we've been stuck here. Like the food that we're getting is clean enough, I guess, but
Right.
I guess, is it? And then they suddenly start like whispering amongst themselves, like they seem like they're questioning whether maybe somehow the food and water they've been getting is what did it.
gonna turn to Amethyst, but say it loudly, intending for the rest of them to hear. It's probably a lousy attitude that makes people explode around here. Maybe if people cheered up for a moment or two, they'd find a way out.
Are you saying they should smile more, Alaric?
Take a positive attitude. That's all.
I mean,
I think at this point, one of the mercenaries from the other side is like, did someone say something about red goo?
Yeah, man, there's some red goo over here.
Okay.
You know anything about red goo? You guys, any of you guys over there ever explode into red goo?
No.
Alright.
Well, that's something.
Did one of you explode into red goo?
No, it was a hypothetical question, man.
So, Cadence, your primeval awareness detects essentially the same thing as before. It's that
Okay.
there is a powerful dragon in the direction of where the tree appears to be, but deep underground.
Okay. I'm just gonna meditate on that dragon for a few minutes. It's not gonna do anything, but I'm just gonna.
You do realize that something about the nature of the dragon is it seems to be of a type you have never encountered before.
Okay.
It's very dragon-like, there's no question on that, but of the types of dragons that you are aware of, this seems to be different from any of the ones you've seen before.
Okay.
And take maybe maneuver Ket and Amethyst aside a little bit, away from the huddling unhappy dwarves.
Okay. Ikta actually approaches you and saying, if you don't mind, we would still like to try to not intermingle at the moment, but it's also like it's a bright day out. Could we go back in our shelter?
Sure.
I
it's
will
safe.
roll my eyes and I will leave. I'm going to the other side. Clearly, I'm not wanted here.
All right, so they, at this point, Melicanth seems to be whispering something with Feathercrest. Who else is doing what?
I'm gonna walk over with Nirakina as she's walking, and I'm just gonna be like, okay, so this dragon, I can still feel it, but it does not feel like any dragon that I've ever encountered before. I can't explain it.
Well, I can't say that I've encountered many dragons. 2 come to mind. But I can't help you sort that out any other way. Like I don't have a lot of experience with dragons.
No, that's okay. I'm just saying I really think that whatever this is, it might be somehow tied to that dragon. I mean, this whole thing is very bizarre.
Is it closer here than it was before?
I can't tell you that.
Marginally.
Yeah. Like, I can't tell. It doesn't tell you, like, where it's positioned.
No, so you have a direction, essentially, and you know that it's within 6 miles.
Yeah.
So are we out of earshot for most people? at
Uh,
this point?
yes. Yeah, if that's what you're trying to do, you can make that happen.
Let's wander up, kind of sit on the druid's front porch there. Just we'll sit and chat for a minute.
All right.
So-
So you make your way to those stone stairs carved into the side of the butte.
Yeah. So we're being watched, obviously. I think
Yeah.
this whole thing is really weird, but this is one giant illusion, and the kind of magic that it would take to create something this large.
Melicanth makes eye contact with you from like across the oasis to kind of get a sense of like if you want her to approach or not.
I'll just kind of do a little nod.
She nods to Feathercrest and then leaves her with the the rest of you and comes over and just looks to you and she says, "Well, I had initially thought that we might keep the illusion knowledge secret to not give away that we knew about it, but that's out of the bag at least. I believe it is a spell known as hallucinatory terrain, or at least perhaps a modification of same."
So this whole thing is just a hallucination.
Well, yes and no. The interesting thing, as far as I can tell, is hallucinatory terrain can be used to replace the landscape entirely, as an illusion only. But for example, you could take a flat plain and make it appear as though there is a mountain there, or a crevasse. You could take a desert and make it look like a jungle. You could make an icy tundra look like a green forest, but only as an illusion. The reality is there. I have never seen it used in such a specific way before.
Must be hiding something. The way into.
Well, so Cadence, did you? Yeah, you. So it was you and Nira, right? Never mind.
Mhm.
Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to just keep track of who was where.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it must be hiding something. Maybe the way into the city. Like it steers people here to keep them from going into the city.
Mhm.
I mean, it's something that becomes permanent after.
At least in my experience, the spell that I'm familiar with lasts for 24 hours, but it is also quite possible that there is some variation at play.
I feel like this is more malevolent, as evidenced by the exploding dwarf.
Melicanth also just kind of rubs her temple and says, It certainly is not benign."
It seems to attack people who start to question it almost.
Well, and it was only when I went to touch that dwarf that I got that I felt like something was trying to do something. I didn't. I mean, you've all felt the effects. It didn't get to me, but it was only when I went to touch one of the people.
But did you look through your ring to see anything?
Yeah, and when I did, that was when I noticed there was a shimmer, like everywhere, and I'm pretty sure that that's the spell Melicanth was describing.
Did you look at any of the people?
I did. Well, I was specifically looking at the one who exploded later,
Right.
but
There was no evidence of an illusion
Yeah.
on the dwarf. And
Yeah, he himself
Melicanth
was
would say the hallucinatory terrain spell cannot affect living things.
But something else is causing us to have these psychic attacks.
right, likely whatever is creating this spell is also attacking us.
Do you think it's
Would be my guess.
Doppel Amethyst?
Mm,
I
My
think
gut
you.
says
I'm going to cut away from you guys after we imagine that you all kind of briefly look towards the fortress, considering that question. But now we're going to cut over to our Amethyst. What are you up to, Amethyst? Are you still talking to the dwarves with Ket and Alara?
Yeah. I'm just trying to. I'm kind of peeping at the other dwarves that are there to see if any of them act weird or.
They have retreated to the safety of their shady shelter.
Right on.
They were, some of them, starting to look a little pink.
That's totally fair. Yeah, I'm just chilling with the guys.
Okay. Are the rest of you having any sort of ongoing conversation, or I think
I'm just like throwing little stones or little sticks at things, trying to figure out this whole illusionary thing.
So as you experiment with it a little bit, you do realize that all of anything that extends more than half an inch off the ground is apparently unaffected. But from to a depth of about half an inch, it is an illusion, and so you reach down to touch it, and you'll see just the tips of your fingers start to disappear as you touch the ground. But it also, at least in most of the places you find that the illusion is replicating what's actually there, except that it doesn't change, meaning you see a little stone on the ground, and you can reach through and feel that the stone is there, but if you pick up the stone, you have it in your hand, but it looks like it's still there.
Okay.
So, Ket, you talked to the mercenaries. What's their story?
Well, they said that that they were here first, between the two groups, and really that's all I remember, because when somebody talks, my mind kind of wanders a little bit.
The other probably notable detail that they mentioned is that what they said is that the dwarves had several barrels of poison with them when they showed up, that the witch confiscated.
Yes, and there was poison. The dwarves had the poison, but they said that the witch took the poison from the dwarves.
Wait, the dwarves showed up with poison?
Yes, the mercenaries said that they were here first. They showed up first, and then the dwarves came with the poison. But the witch in the tower there took the poison, confiscated it from the dwarves.
I don't know about the poison, but the rest of it doesn't make sense. The dwarves said they were here for a couple of weeks. Then these guys showed up, and 3 days later they killed their leader. The merc did.
Well, somebody's not telling the truth.
Do you think they're lying to you? Are they hiding anything?
I mean, probably. I mean, I think this whole place is hiding something.
What were they doing here anyway?
They were on an adventure.
Yeah. They some guy said he had a map to the tree, and that
That's right,
it was just a treasure plundering expedition.
Yes. Forgive me, my memory is absolutely terrible.
Yeah, this place is kind of terrible in many ways.
Yes.
Well, the dwarves said they were archaeologists, history diggers, basically.
What were they looking for? Were they looking to come to the tree as well?
The city, I think, more than a tree, but yeah, all in the same, really.
All roads lead to that tree.
Can't imagine them coming with poison, though. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, what's here to poison? What would you even poison if you were here?
I kind of look at the water. That, maybe?
That's the only water around. Why would you poison the only thing you can drink? Turns out they can't drink it anyway, because it is already kind of poisoned. Not badly, but bad enough.
Well, if they were going to the tree and they had a bunch of poison, maybe they were going to try to poison the tree for some reason.
I thought all the stories said the tree was dead. Maybe they were thinking someone else was going to get there.
Maybe it wasn't even poison that they had in those barrels. Maybe the mercenaries got that wrong. Maybe the witch got it wrong. Maybe there was something else. Maybe there was clean water in the barrels. Maybe there was something in the barrels that could have done the tree some good. I mean, we're thinking poison, but maybe it wasn't even poison.
Still don't understand why both groups think the other one was here first, or rather, they were here first.
Yeah, that puzzles me. Did the dwarves say anything that they had any barrels with them at all?
Yeah, they didn't really mention what they came with, but they don't seem to have much now.
No, they don't.
And barrels of poison. I mean, if you're going to trek through the desert, that seems like a pretty specific thing to bring. You don't bring it by accident.
Yeah.
You bring it for a purpose.
Well, we don't know. I mean, the mercenaries think it was poison, but we don't know for sure if it was poison. That's just he said, she said.
Why did the mercs kill their leader?
What the mercs said is that one of the dwarves shoved their leader down the stairs.
Why would you do that? Unless they already knew who they were. Or are the mercs dangerous? They seem
Alaric. You really like to overthink things, don't you?
I had a lot of time in a hole. I tend to overthink things.
Yeah. It's okay. I get it. You have a lot of questions that nobody has answers for. So why don't we kind of just work on figuring out one thing at a time, man?
All right, what do you want to work on?
I want to go talk to the dwarfs for a second. And I'll just make my way back to... What was that dwarf's name?
Igtha is the leader.
Igtha. Yeah, I'll make my way back to Igtha.
Okay.
And I'll just be like, hey, Igtha. So, I mean, when you guys... I was talking to Alaric over there, and he mentioned that you guys were on, like, a trek to find the city, right?
Yes, an expedition.
Yes, an expedition. Now, it seems to me when you go on an expedition, you need to bring a lot of supplies with you. You mentioned the dwarf there that exploded into goo. He carried things for you.
Yes,
But
we
you
had
said-
a lot of supplies that they were lost in the storm.
Right. Did you happen to have, like, I mean, what kind of supplies did you have with you? Did you have, like,
Well-
like ale and tools to dig
Well,
with?
ale, of course. I mean, what proper dwarven expedition wouldn't have ale?
Of
But
course, yeah.
food and water for the expedition.
I mean, I was
more
on an
appropriate clothing for traveling under the sun. We had tools that would hopefully allow us to excavate should that be necessary. It was an archaeological dig. We brought the appropriate supplies.
Right. Yes, I remember a long time ago. I went on an expedition with a group of explorers, and they brought with them because they were going into like a dangerous underground cavern, and they weren't sure if the water was clean there. So they brought along with them like barrels of clean water,
yes.
to drink and things like that. Did you bring any barrels along with you?
Absolutely. We were traveling through the desert.
Yes. So you had barrels of water, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. That's. What happened to them? Did you drink them all already?
Well, no, as I said, much of our expedition, we were separated when the sandstorm hit, and we found ourselves here. We don't know what happened to the rest.
So you didn't come here, like into this place specifically, with any barrels?
No.
Huh, okay. I just checking, I just, if there's anything I should be looking out for, if you
You can
lost
make
some
an
supplies.
insight check if you want.
Yeah, I mean, that's a natural 19.
Okay, what's the total?
Insight is +4, so 23.
Okay. As far as you can tell, she's being straightforward.
Yeah. Huh. All right. Well, I mean, if there's anything you need us to look out for, any supplies that you think may have wandered over here, just let me know. I'll keep my eye open.
I mean, this place isn't that big. We feel like the only place in this whole oasis that we don't really know much about is the inside of the fortress, and that's because we're not allowed in there.
Yeah, understandable. Okay. Well,
You were talking to the mercenaries. I wouldn't trust what they say. They I told some of your compatriots already that we observed them murder their own leader, presumably because he got them stuck here.
Right? Yeah. I mean, there seems to be a lot of anger over on their side.
Well, I mean, they're, they fight things for money. We were hoping to discover truths about the past. They were hoping to plunder tombs and steal artifacts.
Right, I understand. They're just a group of thugs. They're not like scientists and explorers like you guys.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. I get it. Believe me, I don't trust those guys over there as far as I can throw them. So I'm okay with you, man.
She seems somewhat reassured, and
Good.
the other dwarves do seem like they're calming a bit. They're still spooked for sure.
Yes,
But they seem like they're no longer actively planning contingency plans for your immediate attack.
No, totally. That's why I'm keeping them over there. We don't want to. They just want. We just want it nice and quiet over here. That's how I like things, nice and quiet.
Yeah.
If you ever need anything, just let me know, and I will do my best to provide it for you. If you should need some reassurance or some, even just to pass the time with a song, that would be good too. But in the meantime, I'm going to go talk to my friend Alaric. And
we could teach you some good dwarf songs, perhaps tonight.
Oh, fantastic! Yes, that is a fantastic idea.
And when the witch emerges with our food and water, when the sun comes down, is the usual time, perhaps she can shed some light on whatever might be happening here.
Yes, that was. I'm hoping so. Yes.
Alaric, Feathercrest says that she is plans to attempt to try to fly up and around a little bit. She won't go too far, but she wants to just try to see if she spots anything from the air that's not obvious from the ground.
Be careful. Are you feeling better, at least from what happened? Whatever that was before.
Yes, I think so. Thanks to your druid friend. I don't know what's happening here, but I may as well use what skills I have.
Well, be careful because the wind might pick up at any point.
Yes, I won't stray far.
All right, then. See what you can see.
So she takes off and she's kind of circling around a little bit overhead.
I'm watching her, but I want to talk to Amethyst.
Okay.
So, I'm staring up at the sky. Any idea why you can be in two places at once?
Well,
Manini's that
no.
you?
I don't know. The brown hair. I mean, that would imply that. I had brown hair once. Maybe it's a younger version of me.
I've known some dwarves to dye their beards. Maybe you just dye it later.
I just don't know.
You don't have a twin sister by any chance?
I wasn't told of any.
You weren't told.
Well, I spent that time in the Beastlands, and
Right. I got a theory, but it's stupid. You see, all the stuff you guys have been doing about this whole kind of look around a little bit, make sure nobody, the dwarves at least, are around us. Stolen moment business.
right,
It's a time thing, right?
right.
And I've been trying to wrap my head around what the hell's going to happen whenever whatever happens. It's all a little up in the air, you might say. But I got to thinking, stuff is possibly going to change if you go back and do something with this stolen moment. I mean, if you put it back and things happen differently, then everything else is different. And if you put it back and you change something, then something else is going to happen.
Yeah.
And then I got to thinking, well, what if you put it back and then someone just takes it again? And then this whole thing happens again. And then you go back again and put it back in and something else happens. And I was just kind of thinking, I don't know where all of these fancy fae folk live, but they seem to live kind of outside of normal time, if that makes any sense. And certainly all kinds of other things do, I guess. So I was kind of thinking, what if that's you from a different attempt? What if that would be the person you need to know or talk to figure out what you guys did already that didn't work or came out differently? That's stupid. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up. I got to get it off my chest.
No, that's
Twisting my head.
it's not the weirdest thing that we've seen for sure. I
But
mean,
wouldn't that make her an ally? I mean, imagine how you'd feel if everybody else died when you did this, and you were the only one to survive, and here you are now trying to figure stuff out.
well, I already prefer to be off by myself, but if something like what you're describing potentially happened, then I would definitely try even less to find new companions, you know?
And people keep stumbling into your oasis.
Yeah, what's up with that? Why did we stumble in like that? We just blew right in.
You think
She's right,
did?
I do know better.
Yeah. But maybe you're just looking after them. I mean, if we were out in the desert, we'd be dead by now. Maybe. We're at least a little drier than we are here.
We'd be drier, we'd be alright. Like, we wouldn't starve.
Not with you with us. But these folks would probably end up stabbing each other. Or just exploding.
Yeah, I can't figure that out at all.
So we're going to briefly cut back to the trio sitting at the stoop, so to speak, Cadence and Nira and Melicanth. And as you all turn in unison to look up at the fortress, some strange ripple starts in front of your vision. Your vision starts to blur with all sorts of really strange swirling colors, and I want each of you to make a wisdom saving throw.
22.
21.
Okay. You feel as though for a moment this strange pattern of colors swirling in the sky is designed to essentially like kind of hypnotize you and stun you, but none of you are affected. You all manage to resist the effect. Let's see. But you realize that resisting it has only just given you the opportunity to move out away from it, because otherwise it's going to continue to, like, it doesn't disappear. You just have managed to, for the moment, resist its immediate effect.
So just looking away, like turning around? Like,
No, because
or
it appears to be filling an area of space that is currently where you guys are sitting.
Okay, then I'm going to get up and move away from it.
Let's move away from the hypnotoad.
Yes. Melicanth concurs, and all three of you move away, and then as you leave that area of effect, it dissipates.
So other amethyst is obviously behind this, if it's even other amethyst.
As you are kind of backing away from that area, the mercenaries, you kind of backed away in the direction of their shelter, and they all kind of like run up around you, kind of like, what was that?
Nothing good.
You never saw anything like that before when you were here?
No.
Nothing like.
Not that this place wasn't already pretty strange, but it's gotten even weirder since you guys showed up.
Yeah,
Well,
that
what's-
seems to happen.
What's the strangest thing that you saw since you were here?
Well, they start thinking about it. It's like, I mean, just the fact that we keep showing up at this oasis every time we try to go anywhere else is pretty weird, but it seems like it happens a slightly different way almost every time. And there was one way where it seemed like a big, just sort of dust tornado picked us all up and swirled us away, and then we found ourselves deposited right back at the oasis. That was probably the weirdest one. I mean, other than that, though, I mean, I don't know how to rank the weird things that have happened here.
So the witch that lives in there, have you ever like seen her up close?
Well, I mean, depends on what you mean by up close. Maybe 5-10 feet. Like, we weren't, intimate or anything. She opens up the door on the top of the butte when she gives the food every day.
What does she look like to you?
Briefly, Nira, make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Well, 18.
18. Okay. Once again, you are able to resist whatever this effect is, but you get the feeling that it was close that time.
How far away from these mercenaries am
They're
I?
all standing all around you.
Okay. I'm gonna put some space between us. Just
Okay.
casually, just take a few steps back.
All right. All of the mercenaries in unison turn to look at you when you do that.
What? I don't like people in my space. Ugh.
What's wrong
Bad
with
enough-
us?
It's bad enough that I have to like heal people all the time. It's ridiculous. Like I need some space.
Okay. You're acting a little weird if I don't.
This whole place is weird. I feel like I can't
Well,
breathe. Oh
yeah,
my God.
okay, but granted, what were we just talking about?
What did the witch? What does she look like?
Oh, well, human, I guess, and dark hair. Looks 20 something. I mean, where are you going with this?
I just wondered what she looked like. Because when we went down there, I didn't get a really good look at her, so
Oh,
I was
okay.
just curious.
Well, we've
Like,
not
if
even
I-
been inside, so you guys seems like you guys are ahead of us already.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I just wondered if she looked like anybody that you knew, or anything like that.
Anyone I knew?
Like, did she look familiar or anything?
No.
Was she here when you got here? Or
Yeah.
did she come later?
No, she was here. We were exploring the place when we first arrived, of course, and that's when she showed up and told us to stay out of the fortress.
And you got here before the dwarfs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to see the tree? He had shown you the tree previously where they have carved notches in it.
Wait, you guys were here first?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We've been here 67 days. They came in and he's showing you on this tree they've carved notches, and he says, and see right here, this is when they showed up.
Okay.
And the guy who hired you, he had an accident?
Well, if you can call it that. I mean, the dwarves seemed to think that they deserved more of the daily food and water, and it turned into a scuffle, and he got pushed down the stairs. So is that an accident? Well, you tell me.
Can I make an insight check?
Yeah.
Insight. Oh, okay. So that is a 22.
He seems like he's telling the truth. And what he says is like, look, I mean, we weren't, he was just a job, right? And he got us stranded here. We weren't big fans of the guy, but I mean, we're not fans of them either. It's like, I don't even know if they meant to do it. Was it on purpose or whatever? But anyway, that was when the witch decided, oh, okay, I guess you guys can't coexist in this tiny little oasis anymore. And that's when she made the line and we had to stay on our side.
How many days ago was it that happened?
I'll say as a dungeon master, I didn't decide on a specific day, so he'll say
Okay.
17.
Oh, so you were coexisting for quite a while before the accident happened.
Well, for like 2 weeks. I mean, it wasn't easy,
Yeah.
but like there were no deaths until that point.
Huh. And like before the dwarf showed up, like, what did the witch do then?
Well, she said, "Stay out of the fortress. I will give you clean food and water as long as you don't bother me too much."
Huh.
We obviously were pretty insistent at first on if she knew any way to help us get out of here. But at the same time, would she be here if she knew? So maybe not.
Did you ask her?
Well, we asked, yeah, and she said no. And so, do we believe her? I mean, I don't have any other explanation for why she would be here.
Does she eat with you when you eat?
No. She has some spell that just conjures food out of nothing, and she gives that to us. It's boring, but it's kept us alive.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Are you still keeping your distance, Nira?
Yeah.
Okay. You notice them noticing that.
Let them notice all they want. Just give me my space.
Mhm.
So, just in case you're wondering, I don't know how much you know about what went on over there, but they had a dwarf that was acting weird, and I tried to help him, and he passed out. And then when I tried to heal him, he woke up and started attacking someone. So I gave him a little zap, and he exploded. Just a little bit. Like, it wasn't even like it shouldn't have done anything. Besides maybe knock him off the guy, but, like, he exploded into red goo. It was, oh.
Okay, seriously though, right? I mean, like
Seriously.
we heard you got.
It was
They
awful.
kind of, they look alarmed.
So just maybe, I don't know, just on the safe side, in case it's me, just for your safety.
They all take a big step backwards.
While she's saying this, I'd like to look around and see if there's anybody who is acting suspiciously like that other guy.
Which other guy? Oh,
Like the
anyone who's
dwarf.
yeah.
Yeah.
Make a perception check.
That is a 22.
22. Okay. Yeah, you notice that that fire genasi who fell backwards off the shelter has been kind of sitting off by herself, kind of acting a little twitchy.
Okay. I'm not going to approach her because she already got me once. So, but I'm going to kind of lean into the main guy and just be like, so, has anybody in your side over here, like in your group, has anybody been acting like weird or doing anything strange?
Well,
recently?
like we told you so we warned you that dwarf was acting weird. I don't think we never saw him explode before, but yeah, I mean, none of us was acting like that.
Nobody that like over here, was acting like that. That's all like.
Are you kind of like
strange?
being like gesturing over in the direction of this genasi?
Yeah.
And he gets the hint and he looks over there and he kind of looks concerned. He's like, well, okay, well, that's new, though.
Hmm.
She didn't... Is she okay? She's not going to explode, is she?
Maybe.
Well, I can find out.
I don't think you should do that, Nero. I mean, that was... I mean, it sounds
Yeah,
like it's pretty bad.
if we can avoid the exploding part, that would be better.
Personally, I did not find it. It wasn't much fun. Let me just say that.
Alaric and Ket, and Amethyst, please make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Not a lot of wisdom over here.
9.
14.
22.
Okay.
How's
Ket,
Feathercrest doing, by the way?
she's still kind of circling. It hasn't been that long.
Okay, good.
You also wouldn't be surprised if she kind of just needed some space.
Yep.
But Alaric and Ket, you have just kind of realized that this place is not so bad. It is weird, sure, but apparently you get all the clean food and water you need. It's kind of nice. It's pretty. It's not so bad. And in fact, you think it's really Nira that is making things so complicated. And that what you guys need to go over and do is try to persuade her to stop making trouble. Amethyst, you watch the two of them briefly go kind of glassy-eyed.
You know, Alaric.
Do I feel anything like
You felt a brief like magical flurry effect that you were able to resist.
So I look at Kat and I say, "Hey,
Hey, man.
what's up?"
You know, the more I think about it, the more I think that things ain't so bad here, man. I mean, you got food, you got water, you got.
Nothing's hunting you every day.
No,
every
man,
night.
we're not. Nothing's trying to blow us up. You know. I mean, we could just stay here, and I mean, we wouldn't have a care in the world anymore. I mean, forget the stolen moment, forget Melican, forget, all of this crap that we're trying to do. I mean, right here, man, this is where it's at.
You want to
know what?
forget your home, Kat? You want to forget going with Cadence and trying
You
to
can
find
still
your
see it
home?
over there.
Nah, man, I mean, it's right there. I mean, this is like a huge sandbox for me. I could just poop wherever I want, and this is like perfect, man.
Yeah, you guys are briefly kind of getting the impression that, Amethyst is going to come around. It's really Nira that's the troublemaker.
Yeah, I mean, when you really think about it, I mean, we're all in this situation because of Nira. I mean, she likes to cause all the trouble all the time. I mean, people exploding into goo. I mean,
Tell
look
me
at that
about it.
whole thing with that other guy. What the heck was his name now in the Shadow Realm? The Shadowfell. Oh God, I can't even remember his name, but I bet you she remembers his name because I mean, she just causes all the trouble with all the time, man. In fact, I think Alaric, why don't we go over there and try and talk to her?
Maybe we can talk some sense into her. I mean,
Yeah,
it's-
she's over there with Melicanth and Cadence and talking to the mercenaries.
Yeah. I mean, you do the talking, Alaric. I mean, you've known her a lot longer than I have.
Feels like I don't know her at all sometimes. I mean, stuff has been going on with her for a long time. I don't know. She's not exactly stable all the time.
Dang.
She needs to just relax.
Yeah, she needs to chill.
I've never really been much for the beach, but I can get used to this. You got shade. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know if I can get a tan, but I'm willing to try.
All right. Let's see what she's up to. I have a feeling she's talking to those mercenaries into doing something stupid.
Yeah.
Usually works on me, after all.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
let's go have a talk.
So in the meantime, Amethyst, yeah, it's not subtle that these guys are suddenly acting weird.
Right.
Wait, we were supposed to be subtle? Huh.
No,
Right.
I'm just saying you don't have to pretend you don't notice. It's obvious to you.
Okay, so I'm just gonna follow along and kind of
All right.
supervise their whatever they're about to do.
So meanwhile, Nira and Cadence, you are having this conversation, and you see Ket and Alaric start to head over with Amethyst in tow.
Oh, good. Maybe they figured out the way to get out of here.
Are you wait, really? Those guys?
Well, Amethyst is really smart. She might have figured something out. I mean, she's already here. Maybe she knows how to get out of here. I don't know.
Okay, that one I
So-
might give you, but
So as we're walking over, I'm behind the guys, and I look at the girls, and I'm just like, and I kind of roll my eyes and I point at them, and just like exasperated kind of a thing that I'm expressing to them as we're walking over. But I'm not saying anything.
See,
I'm
I
just
told you.
letting the guys lead.
I'm like, I guess she didn't figure out how to get out of here.
I'm just like, eyes to. Sorry, literally eyes to heaven, kind of an eye roll, like God save us.
So yeah,
So,
put on my biggest smile, a wave nicely to Nirakina.
No, that's not good.
Yeah. You guys think that the problem that Nira has right now is that she's being so standoffish. She needs to be getting better acquainted and more at peace with the people who have already been here, and that'll help her get used to everything. So the way she's standing away from them right now is complicating the matter.
Yeah.
You should do something about that.
Yeah, walk up to Nirakina. How is the talk and negotiations happening?
Negotiations?
Well, I don't know exactly what you're here to talk about, but it seems hard to do it when you're shouting across the space. Let's all come together here. I'm sure we can find a better space. I'll grab her by the elbow.
Okay.
Come on.
Make a grapple. Make athletics check against athletics or acrobatics.
Okay.
I feel very attacked
23.
right now.
Yeah,
Just saying.
I
23.
That's against my AC, or what is that against?
You make a contested athletics or acrobatics check. Oh, strictly speaking, you should be subtracting a d4. All right.
Oh, am I? I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if I was.
Yeah,
married
still
by
doing that.
Oh,
Oop, I
Right
got
now,
stuck in
Nira's
my-
the only one that doesn't have to do that.
So that's
That
an
was
18.
19 then.
18 for me.
Okay, so Alaric has just grappled you. You are currently grappled.
Does that count as like an attack? Because
he's about to turn into dwarf goo.
If you're hellish rebuke, I think someone has to do damage to you.
Yeah, it's the hits you with an attack. Okay.
Yeah. Incidentally, as soon as that happens, all of the mercenaries are like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on?" And they immediately move to crowd around you. And please make a wisdom saving throw, Nira.
It's a natural 20 again. That's a 29.
All right.
And I would like to use Shocking Grasp on Alaric.
Oh
There we
god,
go.
she's
Okay.
gonna
waiting
explode
for that.
Alaric
Oh, God.
into the
Goop.
It was good knowing you.
Don't test me.
Hey, it's better when it's dwarf goo of the people you know. Wait, that's not really.
So it's a melee spell attack.
Okay.
Hold on. I click on all these different things. So it's a plus 11. So just rolled another 20.
Okay.
Holy crap! All right.
That'd be a 31.
All right.
I don't think I can.
Well,
crack that.
so
21.
go ahead and roll the damage.
I mean, I'm not trying to like kill him or anything, but
Yeah. You're
never
technically
are.
still grappled.
right.
hmm
Let's see. 12.
So it's 12 lightning damage to you, Alaric. Ket, Nira is resisting. Obviously, Alaric needs some help.
Oh yeah, totally. I'm going to cast Calm Emotions on Nira, so I need you to make a Charisma saving throw.
Yeah, I'm not as good at those. Oh, almost though. That is a, let's see, 21.
Oh, you succeed.
I have a plus 8 on that one, so.
Oh, good to know. Well,
Alaric and Ket look like they're being aggressive from the outside looking in.
Well, so they are
She's
obviously acting strange. And for that matter, actually, I need Amethyst, Nira, Cadence, and Melicantha are all going to be making another wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Ooh,
20
25.
not natural.
It's a 17.
Okay. Well, that resolves things because what you immediately realize, Nira, is that What have you been doing? Obviously, the thing that's been keeping you all stuck here is your stubbornness. The Oasis has been trying to give you the answer, but you've been resisting its attempt to feed the information to you magically. And what you need to do is stop resisting its spell.
Just like that. I don't want to.
And
I'm going to take a defensive stance. I want to turn the grapple, so I'm
yeah.
holding her arm behind her.
Incidentally, at this point, Melicanth just says, "Everyone, wait. Just calm down. I think I understand what's happening here. We need to just relax." But
Yeah, man,
in the
chill
meantime, Nira, you are essentially, because... Okay, wait. Now, technically, this is a charm, so you do have advantage. So you can roll again. Your
Oh, I
17.
can?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm doing that.
Because you're an elf, you have advantage against charms. And
That was
what this
better.
most
That's
recent-
a 25.
Okay, so...
Yay.
You feel for a moment like you are, something has tried to charm you. But at this point, though, let's see. Yeah. At this point, Melicanth casts Globe of Invulnerability around you. No, wait, no, she doesn't do that. Sorry. But you see her briefly go glassy-eyed, too. What does she do? Okay. What suddenly happens is you see a shimmer go up around you like a bubble-like dome over the top of you. A hemispheric wall of force has just been cast over you. And you are sort of now trapped within this invisible wall of force.
Do I have a hold of her still, or am I pushed away?
I guess Alaric is in there with her still.
Well, no, the thing is, with that shocking grasp, I'm looking at my features and
Does that push me
Oh,
away?
yeah.
lightning
Okay.
damage.
Yeah, so it
would
pushed him
push
away. Yeah, so Alaric is not
Okay.
in it. Nira is in there by herself.
I have a question. Having like so many repeated attacks like this, would I have been able to tell that it was an attempt at like a charm effect?
Do you have some special reaction to charm effects, or?
Yeah, I want to cast protection from evil and good on myself, so that
okay.
way I
Yeah,
can't
well-
be charged, frightened, or possessed.
Alaric and Ket obviously appear to be charmed, and now Melicanth seems to be as well.
Okay, and it's only an effect that it's those creatures that it's like aberrations, celestials, elementals, fays, fiends, and undead. I can't be charmed or frightened or possessed by any of those creatures.
Okay, so you cast that spell.
Yep.
Okay, so
Wait. So I'm in a bubble by myself.
yeah, like a hemisphere now, a hemispherical bubble, and Melicanth just says, "Nira, this is for your own good."
I'll stand up. You just need to calm down.
Yes, stop resisting, and you'll understand, as we do.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I've got little electricity zapping at the ends of my hair at this point. I was like, I hate you so much. Why is this happening?
At this point, you start to feel something around your feet, Nira. And I need you to make another wisdom saving throw.
That's a 25.
Okay, that is like... I know what your
What's mine?
modifier... Well, okay, but the thing is...
It was a 16. I can't...
But you have beat an 18 DC like 12 times now. I'm not saying you're lying. I'm just saying that's why this is happening.
It's her birthday luck.
I can't help it. That's what the dice said.
Yeah. Okay, so I think, yes, at this point, Melicanth has got you saying, Nira, I can't let you out until you let the Oasis in. So, Cadence, you and Amethyst are still noticing now that this is going poorly.
What are they doing? Why are you doing this to her?
Pelicanth just says, I realized what's happening here, and what the problem is that we've been resisting it.
Nira's always been a bit stubborn. Can't even accept a good thing when it faces her right in the face.
This is not a good thing. Being here forever is not good.
What do you mean, Cadence? Being here forever would be like awesome. Think about it. We don't have any of these problems to deal with anymore. No more stolen moment. No more things chasing us. We could just settle down. You and me. We could get married. We could have a family here. We could raise our kittens in this beautiful place here.
They couldn't even drink the water. Be reasonable.
I'm
Why
gonna
is
reach
there a
out.
place?
I want to
It's-
reach out and tap Cadence with guidance and also myself. I'm just going to throw that in there real quick.
All right. Well, I think you can only have one of you at a time.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, then myself.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And remember, everyone except Nira currently has the D4 penalty.
Yep.
So at this point, I think those of you who are not charmed realize that all of the mercenaries and all of the dwarves are all just staring at this, just like standing motionless and staring. And Nira, you look down and you realize that just above the threshold of this illusion spell, you are seeing some strange sort of like red bubbling goo around your feet.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good.
Make
No.
another wisdom saving throw, please.
Totally good, Nira. The bubbles are good. The bubbles soothe you.
Okay, but I only got a 12 that time, so
Oh,
All
shit.
right.
Jesus.
All of the mercenaries and all of the dwarves say simultaneously, finally. And you take 16, 22,
Well, fuck the dwarves.
Hey. Wait, I
you
guess right
take
now.
42 psychic damage.
Sure.
And
Right.
now you have this same D4 penalty. And at this point, let's see, I want to just double check.
Man, I forgot 2 different abilities that would have made me better for that. Wow. It's been a while.
Okay, let's see. At this point, yeah, okay, I think at this point, Nira, you are still in the bubble. But Amethyst and Cadence, you see that the Cobb, this Tabaxi, and Igtha both approach you with holding like big sticks, like clubs.
I'm gonna take my bow out
All right,
and I will train it on Cobb.
all right. We're gonna roll initiative and go to the map.
Oh, weird.
I'm in a bubble. What can I do?
That's a good question. What can you do? I would think on that. I would try to come up with an answer to that.
That is not very high. That's a 7 for me.
All right. I'm going to need everyone to give me that number in just a second.
Do we
Does the-
subtract the D4 from that?
I think, strictly speaking, initiative is an ability check, so yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Where's my pen?
It's not a good time to max out on both dice.
Right.
Oh, there it is. All right, so... all right. Now, phase 2. So, the... Okay, Nero was 7.
6 with the minus D4.
Right. Okay, Amethyst?
8.
Okay. 8. Okay. Cadence?
12.
Okay. Ket?
7.
Wow. All you guys, man. Alaric?
21.
Okay. Okay, so... I'm having to rewrite my list because so many was in between there. So, 8, 7, Nira, 6. Okay. So, I think the limits of this spell. Yeah, okay. So, Alaric, you are charmed, in case that was not clear. The charm effect here means that you consider the enemy in this combat to be friendly to you. It doesn't, strictly speaking, can't just command your specific actions. But here, like now that I've got us on the map, let's actually figure out where everybody is. So Nira, let's put you here and give you your. Where's my markers? I have not got my markers in immediate vicinity. There they are.
Maybe they're beneath 1 inch of illusion.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So you've got that wall of force around you. Everyone else, Feathercrest is currently up in the sky, although I will grant that she is going to see what's going on and come back down in a minute here.
So, question: am I charmed or not, or is it just
You
those
are
two?
not. No.
I am
So,
not. Okay.
Melicanth is charmed. Ket is charmed. Alaric is charmed. Melicanth had some very poor rolls because she's usually pretty resistant to that stuff. So this is Cobb right here. And approaching Cadence. This is Igtha right here, approaching Amethyst. And then the other dwarves and mercenaries are kind of standing nearby. All right. So, Alaric, I think your feeling right now would still be along the lines of it's the people who are resisting what the Oasis is trying to do that are the problem, but your actions are not technically being controlled. You're just your feelings about what's happening.
I mean, the only one who's ever done any aggressive things here is Nirikina, and she's bottled up at the moment, so I don't see any.
Well,
enemies in the
Amethyst and
field.
Cadence seem like they're resisting as well.
But they're not doing anything. I'll turn to Amethyst since she's right beside me.
Okay.
Look, you've had the weight of the world on you. Here we can just relax. That's it. That's all I got to do.
All right. Okay. Man, that that spell is nastier than I was expecting when I cast it. All right. Okay. It is the enemy's turn. Nira, from inside the bubble, your 2 red gooey pseudopods rise up out of the illusion on the ground and attempt to thwack you. That's a 14, and that's a crit 20. So that'll one will hit. Okay, so that's 15, and then another 4.
Oh, I will probably add one small thing that probably is happening is that the red arm is kind of tapping him on the head, trying to wake him up. I'd forgot that it could do some help before, but
So 19. No, excuse me. 29 psychic damage, Nira, from this critical pseudopod just thwapping you with, you know,
Well, I would
this,
like
this same red slime that is now apparently prehensile.
I would like to react with Wrath of the Storm,
Okay.
and it needs to make a Dex saving throw.
All right.
DC 17.
It that is only a 7, so
Okay,
that's a failure.
so 2d8. Um,
The
I'm gonna
knockback
do-
effect is not going to be effective
Right.
here for reasons that are going to be more obvious in a bit.
so that's 8.
Okay. Where was my notes about this? Oh, hang on. Also, by the way, I'm going to give us some combat music here. Let's see. Where was that music that I wanted? All right. Yeah. Let's get some good scary music now that we're actually in combat. Where is it? There we are. Okay. So, 8 damage.
Yeah.
22. Yeah, so you see this pseudopod quiver and sort of recoil a little bit as the lightning happens. But basically, what would normally be the knockback effect basically just makes the slime in that pseudopod just kind of go and then just drop back into the ground.
Okay.
And so that is those 2 attacks happen, and then I need a wisdom saving throw from Cadence.
That's not good. It's an 11.
11. Okay. Okay. So. 28 psychic damage. And now your D4 is a D6.
I'm not charmed though, right?
Huh? No.
I'm not charmed.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're still in control of your actions. You just feel even weaker than before.
Okay.
Okay, Cadence, it is your turn now.
Okay, I'm going to Misty Step to
Mm-hmm.
the other side of the bubble, holding Nira like onto the steps.
Oh, that is a very cool plan. I like that a lot. Poof.
Yeah, because I don't like that guy backing me in there.
Yeah. No, that's great. I like that. So are you doing anything else, or?
I'm going to train my bow on the. Is that Alaric that's right in front of me?
This is Alaric, right
Right
there?
next to me? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to train my bow on Alaric and just be like, back off, Alaric. And that's my action.
Okay.
Can she see the tentacles? Things,
Yeah, I think
pseudopod
everyone can
things?
see it. This
Okay.
wall of force is transparent, but everyone saw it go up, and you can see what's happening inside. So, Amethyst, it is your turn.
I'm going to. Trying to see. I'm gonna. I look close enough to Alaric. I don't think this is gonna work, but I want to try it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna reach out and touch him and try to use Dispel Magic on him to see if that'll lift the curse off of him or the
Ah.
charm off of him.
Yes. So dispel magic. Let me just double check the way that spell works. I think you might have to make a roll, but it doesn't not work. But let me double check what roll you have to make. Yes, you do have to make a roll. So make a roll of your spellcasting ability, which is Wisdom. So you're making a Wisdom ability check, but remember you have to subtract the D4.
And guidance though, I'm gonna add a
You
D4.
yeah.
18.
18 is a success. You have dispelled the charm effect on Alaric.
Yay!
Alaric, you suddenly realize, oh crap, what was I doing?
What the hell am I saying?
There is clearly some sort of an intelligence at work in this oasis that had clouded your mind in a sinister way, but Amethyst has dispelled it. It is still in effect, though, on Ket and Melicanth. Oh, speaking of Melicanth, I didn't roll initiative for her, but you got a 2, so...
I want to do my bonus action of healing word on Nira.
Okay. I think what you... Hang on. This Wall of Force spell is complicated. It says nothing can physically pass through. But I guess healing magic? Nothing can physically pass through. But you can see. So I'd say it works. Yeah.
I was gonna say hold off, but okay.
No, yeah, it works. Cadence, you think your arrows would probably not work.
That's 12 points. I know it's not much, but...
Doesn't hurt. At this point, Amethyst, the Igtha runs up to you and makes an attack with her club. And it is a 17 to hit.
So that's against my armor class, right? Which is 18.
Yeah, so, okay, she misses. All right, that is Amethyst's turn. Ket, it is your turn. You see that Amethyst is, so Cadence has poofed herself in the bubble. Amethyst is wrecking Alaric's, recognition of the goodness of this oasis.
Mm-hmm. Wow. It's all turned into shit. But I mean, I'm still kind of like, my focus is still kind of on Nira, though, wouldn't it be? Like, I'm under the impression
I
that
think
it's
so.
all...
Well, generally speaking, what you feel the overall situation here is that the Oasis is good.
Mhm.
It is trying to help you guys, but some members of your party are complicating that. So do with that what Ket would.
Yikes.
Okay. Man, this is not good. I saw Nira like hurt the Oasis, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just kind of look at Nira, be like, Nira, you're making this all kind of difficult, and I'm getting a little sick and tired of it. And another thing, your ears are so big that it looks like a carriage coming down the road with both doors open when I look at you. And I will cast Vicious Mockery on Nira, so I need you to make a Wisdom saving throw minus the D4.
Let's see. Well, that's a 17 minus 1.
Oh,
16.
so you fail. 17 is my DC, but with the D4, you fail. So thankfully, it's not a lot of damage. It's only 3 D4, so 4, 5, 6, 7. You take 8 points of damage. And then I have this new thing now at level 14. I have where did it go? I have battle magic. So when I use my action to cast a bard spell, I can make one weapon attack as a bonus action. So I will saunter over to Amethyst and be like, "Hey, you're ruining things too." I will just swipe at her with my claws.
Okay.
And that'll only be 16 to hit you. I don't think that hits you, does it, Amethyst? What's your armor
16.
class?
No, she has 18.
18.
Okay, so that misses. I just like...
Can I, because I'm a warcaster,
Mm-hmm.
can I use my it says you can use your reaction to make an opportunity attack to cast a spell that has a casting time of 1 action and targets only that creature.
Wait, I'm sorry, say that again.
So I'm a warcaster,
Mhm.
and so I can use my reaction. Like he just attacked me, so can I use my reaction to make an opportunity attack to cast a spell on him? With that?
I guess so.
Well, he didn't
Wait.
move out of your range.
Yeah, opportunity
oh, yeah.
attack's different. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I
Sorry,
got some
I'm-
sort of a
I'm
reaction when
distracted
I got
because there's a
attacked.
lot going on right now. So.
I just thought I got some sort of a reaction.
It's when an opportunity attack happens, which is when
Oh
someone
yeah.
moves
So
away from
when
you.
someone moves out of your melee range.
Okay.
Yeah. Well. So wait. What is the feat again? I'll listen this time.
Warcaster.
Warcaster. I think all that means is that if you are making an opportunity attack, which means someone is moving out of your range, normally you can only make a weapon attack, but if you have Warcaster, you can make a spell attack.
Okay.
But
All
it
right.
still needs to be an opportunity attack. Okay, so, Ket, after your turn, Igtha is going to try to hit Amethyst with the club again. But that's a critical one, so critical miss.
Where is Amethyst?
Oh,
on
nice.
the map?
Yeah, we
Amethyst
could
is right
move.
here.
We
Okay,
gotta
so
move Cat
I
over.
moved over to Amethyst.
Oh, you're right.
but yeah.
Yeah. So probably like that.
Yeah, right.
Feeling like a pinata.
Yeah. At this point, Nira, it's your turn.
Well, first thing I'm going to do is cast heal,
Okay.
which gives me 70 points. So actually, let me look at that. That's a regular action. That's not
Yeah, I think so.
a bonus action, right? I'm just making sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing that because I'm hurting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. So, anything else?
Am I
There doesn't have
grappled
to
or
be.
anything?
No,
Like,
you're not
I
grappled or anything. You're just inside this wall of force.
Okay.
Technically,
well,
you know this is the same spell that Melicanth once cast on Jinxie.
Okay. I'm staying where I am.
All right.
I can't do it. There's not much else I can do.
It is Melicanth's turn. And what does she do? Let's see. She's holding concentration on the wall of force. And so what she does is what she says is everyone, we just need to stop resisting and it will be fine. And she is going to actually what does she want to do? She is going to cast Banishment on Amethyst. So, Amethyst, you need to make a Charisma saving throw, please.
Great.
So she's not technically from this plane, is she?
Mm-mm.
Oh no.
That's an 18.
An 18.
Oh wait, I have to subtract 2, so that's a 16.
Oh no!
Hey, I'm an honest.
18 would have been success, but a 16 is not. Blunk. Amethyst
Bye.
blunks out of. Oh, you know what? I take it back. She does not do that because she has to maintain concentration on the wall of force. I'm sorry, retcon. She would know that. She's not wanting to let Nira out of the wall of force. So what she's actually going to
Aw, that
I'm
sounded exciting.
do? Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
I love a good trip.
All right. Well, instead, then she's just going to she's going to move right here, and she's going to cast Lightning Bolt on Alaric and Amethyst. So a dexterity saving throw from the two of you, please.
And that -4 applies to that too, right?
Yep.
Okay.
11.
All right.
Graceful.
That is a 12.
Yeah. Okay. So those are both failures. So
Okay. I'm going to use my reaction for Uncanny Dodge.
okay. There's 27 lightning damage to both of you.
So 13.
Yes. All right.
Ah.
Melicanth is just saying, "Stop resisting, and this can all be over." And then, yeah. So that was Melicanth's turn. And so, Alaric, it is your turn again.
All right. I'm going to step up to Melicanth.
Mm-hmm.
You need to wake up. And I'm going to punch her.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do it again.
All right.
She stops the stupid shield she's got up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. That is so it's unarmed strike. All right. That's a nat 20.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So she was going to cast shield, but never mind.
It would have been a total of 26 anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's 4 points of damage because I don't have any dice to roll. It's an unarmed strike.
Okay.
But it forces her to make a concentration check.
It sure does. She doesn't have any special ability about that, so she does, however, roll a dirty 20.
Okay, I hit her again.
Okay.
That one is much worse. That is a 4. No, sorry, 7.
Okay. Well, that misses.
I'm going to use my action surge
Okay.
to punch 2 more times.
Okay.
Put down that shield. Ah, crap. I get the D4 rolled out. Let's see here. That's a 10. No, 13.
Okay. A 13 does hit.
Okay. 4 more points of damage.
All right.
And another concentration
You
check.
feel, as you connect with that one, though, you feel a burst of energy from your red hand. And as you punch, you see Melicanth's eyes suddenly clear. She says, she suddenly looks aware and horrified. And Nira, the wall of force drops.
I'm going to use the momentum then
Mm-hmm.
to spin around and punch Ket because he's right there.
Okay.
Hey, Lark, what are you? Oh.
Yeah.
Can
All
cats swim? Oh, probably can with that roll. Jeez. That D4 is killing me. That is
Well, it's like a permanent
12.
bane spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that misses.
Yeah. All right. So at this point, Feathercrest, you hadn't been sure what was happening, but those of you who are more perceptive would notice that there is a flurry of air, and then something invisible, perhaps, lands about right here, and a cone of cold goes.
Ah.
And so cone of cold is 8d8. I didn't get my 8d8s out. Hang on. I will use the roller for that. Okay. Okay. So the thing, the enemy makes Constitution saving throw, natural 20 plus 5. So it's a success, but it still takes 16 cold damage. And what you guys see, is that all 5 of these, these mercenaries, including Cobb, seem to freeze solid and then tip over and shatter into little red ice cube things.
Ah, damn.
And then you actually hear Feathercrest go, "Usually that doesn't happen."
That's what I said too.
Okay. It is now your no. Okay, not it's not anyone else's turn yet. It is Igtha is going to make another attack against Amethyst because she's still standing right there.
Why not?
Yeah, she's single-minded right now. That's still only a 15 though. And then all of a sudden now, two of these pseudopods stick up out of the sand, and one attacks Nira again, and the other attacks Alaric. So first against Nira. That's a 16.
Nope.
And then against Alaric, that is a 25.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So then, Alaric, you suffer.
I will use my reaction to Uncanny Dodge.
All right. It would have been 22. Oh, hey, hang on. I'm doing the math wrong. It would have been 22 bludgeoning damage plus 7 psychic damage, but you're going to have all of that. So,
Can I half the
14.
psychic damage?
Yeah.
Okay. 14?
14, yeah. From this pseudopod. And then, let's see. Ket, make another wisdom saving throw. No,
Like 2?
no, hang on. I'm sorry. You are still charmed. It wouldn't do that to you.
Yeah. Okay.
Alaric.
Oh, yeah.
Another
Hey.
wisdom saving throw. Yeah.
Oh, that one. This one, yeah, maybe I'll use some of the friggin' abilities I have.
Uh-huh.
But first, let's see how bad I roll the first time. Oh, actually, that's better than I thought. That is 13.
13 is still not sufficient.
The hand hits me on the back of the head
Uh-huh.
and allows me to re-roll that.
Yeah?
See if that's any better. That's worse.
Oh, dear.
So deep down within, the small part of my soul is just left. So don't do that again. And I use Indomitable, which allows me to re-roll again.
Okay.
And that's still terrible. That's a 14. So in all
boy.
that, I went from a 13 to a 12 to a 14. Using all of the things I had.
Alas, you're going to take another 42 points of psychic damage.
Wow.
And now your D4 is a D6.
Boy.
Everyone make a perception check.
Yeah,
Me
I'm
too?
not-
Yeah. Well, yeah.
18.
19.
Anyone who gets above 15 realized that when Feathercrest, you assume, who cast the Cone of Cold and shattered all of the others there, you realize that the dwarves over here and Igtha shuddered also. All right. That was okay. So we just had the enemy's turn. Cadence, it's your turn now.
I'm going to reach over and cast Cure Wounds on Alaric at level 3.
Oh, bless you.
That's 15 plus 2, so you get 17. It's not much. Almost doubled where you were, or it did just a little more.
Just over double, yeah.
Yeah, and that's all I can do.
Okay, so at this point, coming around the corner of oh, you know what? I'm trying to think. I don't have a good token to use for this, but no, never mind. At this point, it's just Igtha again, and she is just she looks down, and what she does is attempt to grapple Arwen. And so she, if you have Arwen's stats, Viv, I can look it up if not. Oh, that's a fairly measly roll. So, but see if Arwen can make either a strength or a dexterity.
Yeah,
acrobatics
let me pull
or
it up.
athletics.
She's says Dex 16, which I think is a +4.
Okay.
Plus
Yeah.
3.
So Igtha attempts to grab at the grab at Arwen, but Arwen is able to squirm out of the way. All right, so we just had Cadence's turn, right? So Amethyst, your turn. Ket is the only one who still seems to be charmed at the moment.
I was just checking my spells for something real quick. Oh shoot! I don't even have that spell slot. Okay, I'm gonna use my last spell slot and reach out and touch Cat and hit him with the spell magic.
Okay, so as before, I need a wisdom ability check from you.
Oh shoot! Yeah, that's no. I'm not even gonna embarrass myself by saying the numbers out loud.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, this is a powerful charm effect.
Yeah.
That is you're not able to dispel. Okay, that makes it Ket's turn.
Oh my god.
Ket,
Oh, you.
yeah, this is going pretty badly right now. Like everyone seems to be really unifying now under the idea that this oasis is bad, and that's a real bummer.
Man, all you people just need to like chill out. And I'm going to back up 3 paces.
Mm-hmm.
And no, into the water.
Okay.
Like just like into like yeah.
All right.
And then I'm gonna cast Cone of Cold so I can hit everybody.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's so it's a 15-foot cone, I think.
It's a 60-foot cone.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. So I think you back up enough that you can get everyone in this.
Yeah. I want to hit everybody. So Constitution saving throws all around. Those with the -4, the -6, keep that in mind too.
So let's see. Melicanth fails.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a 5 from me.
3.
I'm not gonna beat it, so it's a 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
12.
anybody less than 17 takes 34 points of damage.
I'm out.
Dick.
Anybody above 17 takes half of that, so 14. Or no,
That is so damn rude.
16 points of damage. Sorry.
And Cat kills the team.
You should all just calm down.
I'm going to say that because you can't see Feathercrest, you weren't able to include her in the cone. So
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Arwen continues to have plot armor even when I try to have her used as a hostage. How about we say you have just enough presence of mind to know that spell would completely just annihilate Arwen, and so you aimed it just right to.
Fair enough.
You want to stop everybody from doing this, not kill them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Assuming that's your intent.
So okay. Igtha shatters into little Kool-Aid ice cubes.
Sacrifices have to be made.
The other dwarves kind of shudder when that happens. So everyone else, Melicanth took that damage. Everyone else got your damage covered.
Yeah.
Is anyone out except Alaric?
Nope.
All right.
Close.
Okay. At this point, another one of the dwarves kind of steps up where Igtha was, and moves in and makes the same club attack because it's decided that's the thing to do. It wants to hit at least once. No, not that time though. All right, so Nira, you're up again.
Oh, good. Okay, so because I would just love to see his reaction to what he has done, I am going to run up to Ket. Actually, yeah, I can just move up to Ket, and I am going to touch him with Greater Restoration. Because I
Okay.
think that will...
Yes, it will.
And as my bonus action, I'm going to use Healing Word on Alaric, so...
Okay. All right. So I think Greater Restoration. You have to get your boots wet to get up to where Ket is, but you're able to clear the charm effect. And Ket, you realize with horror, as you look at your frosty friends, that you have been magically led astray.
Cue the Pikachu open mouth.
Yeah.
Alaric, take 8 hit points.
Whew. I groan with my frozen beard and look on the ground.
All right. That is Nira's turn. It is Melicanth's turn. She is trying to decide what's going to be useful here. I think what she is going to do is she's going to do, given that it has seemed effective so far, she's going to come up here and use her own Cone of Cold on these remaining dwarfs. And I'm going to just go ahead and... and so all of those crumble too in the same way. And so, strictly speaking, all of the combatants you can currently see are gone, and yet you know that some of the pseudopods have just seemed to emerge from the ground. So, at this point, though, it is that was Melicanth's turn. So, Alaric, it would be you again.
Yeah, I look around. Someone want to explain what the hell's going on, and I'm going to walk over and walk up the side of the tower
Okay.
and stand on the side of the tower, so I'm not standing on the ground.
Yeah. Okay.
Use my bonus action to activate the arm,
Okay.
and I'll hold my action in case I see one of those red tentacles.
Okay. Oh, to fire if you see one of the pseudopods?
Yep.
All right. Okay. It is now Feathercrest's turn. You all hear her take wing again, the sort of flap, flap, flap. And Alaric, you sort of vaguely sense that she's perching sort of next to you up on this little platform there. And she says, "Good thinking." And then she is... Let's see what she is going to, she says, "I wonder," and then all of a sudden over here, you see an enormous fireball. And, yeah, so that's gonna, okay. Aha. You all hear sort of a shriek. And you hear a very sort of vague, slimy, slithery, gross sound.
You.
And at that point, at that point, I think what all of you are hearing is sort of a continuous, like, slurping, glooping sound. And you hear from somewhere in the fortress, "Fine then, just go." And that makes it Cadence's turn.
I saw where the fireball went, right?
Yeah, it was just like over here. She was curious about, like, you can't see where these things are, but it seems to come out of the ground, so it was trying to hit where it had seen them come before.
Okay, I'm gonna back up the steps behind me.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna fire a lightning arrow
Okay.
in that direction. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, making a roll doesn't. You're not aiming at a thing. You're aiming at a spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I'm going to say is that you fire into the ground and it doesn't seem to have any effect this time.
Okay. I'm gonna take my second shot.
Okay.
So 14 plus. That's 20, not natural.
Yeah. So the arrows thud into the ground, and just the edge of it where it's sticking into the ground. You would expect the lightning arrow to usually show some effect of the lightning spreading out around it, but because of the nature of the illusion on the ground at this place, you don't see any effect. But there's also none of the same sound. The slurping has stopped.
Okay.
All right, Amethyst. You're muted?
Yeah, sorry. I'm gonna cast. I was just looking at health bars. Think I'm gonna go ahead and cast Mass Cure Wounds.
Okay.
And step up to the area where everybody else has moved to. Give me a second and I'll roll that.
All right. I'm going to put Feathercrest's token here, even though she's still technically invisible.
Right on.
Greater invisibility.
So that's 20 hit points to like everybody except Cat, who's at full health.
Okay. Alright. So, strictly speaking, I'll say that we're not in strict initiative anymore. But you guys tell me what you're wanting to do at this point. So, well, it's loose now.
I have a question. How
Yes.
long has it been since she cast the Windwalk spell? Are we still in the 8-hour window?
I'm going to say no.
Because I'm upset. We're going in there.
Is it gone?
One
What
way.
the hell was that thing?
We're going in there. I'm going to go up the steps and to that trapdoor thingy.
That's
Okay.
where I was going to.
All right. So, let me move everyone
Yeah, just walk up
on
the
up
woman.
there. Doot, 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 doot. All right. All right. You guys have all made your way up to the top here. And so, as before, there's this sort of crumbled structure, but the entrance barricaded with stones, but there are these small openings that the more tactically minded of you probably would realize are air holes for like airflow probably, but who knows.
So it's covered in stone, right? Like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna pick one up, see if I can get rid of it just by moving it physically.
Yeah, you are able to pick up a stone. There's a lot more of them there.
Right, but like the door downstairs was also like had all the stuff in front of it.
Right,
The shadow
yeah,
didn't do anything, so
Well,
that's why I was testing.
it's not that it had no effect. It was that it would have taken a lot more to clear a path. The point is that if you have the equivalent of 200 hit points worth of stone and you do 25 damage to it, it's you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is a thoroughly barricaded thing. You figure you could, in a mundane way, probably clear all the stones. It would just take a while.
Nero, are you trying to get to the witch?
I'm not speaking to you right now.
Are you trying to get to the witch now?
Look, his head wasn't in the right place. Mine wasn't either.
Just do it, Kit.
If you're trying to get to the witch, I can help you, Nira.
What are we trying to do here, anyway?
I think we would all like to get to the witch.
This thing is in there. We heard it.
Yeah. What is it?
I don't think any of us are strong enough to go in there spells blazing, though.
We can't just leave it here. It's already been weakened. I'm not going to give it the chance to recover.
And Melicanth says, and in any case, we still don't have a way to the tree. It promised answers before, and it may have been lying, but perhaps if we were in a position to threaten it, it would be more forthcoming.
So none of those dwarves and mercenaries were even real. Is that what I'm finding out now?
Mm-hmm.
Why go through that charade? Why do all of that? Just to eat us?
Something like that. I don't know exactly what it is.
So is she a thing or separate from all the other stuff that's going on? Is she the heart of the thing or just caused it?
We don't know.
Exactly.
Let's go find out. Let's see, what do I have? Not much left.
I grab Nira and I cast Dimension Door, and we go to the witch's home.
Okay.
Just me?
Crap.
That's all I can do. I can only take one person.
All right.
What would I had in mind? Okay.
Great idea.
So, okay.
Happy birthday.
All right. So,
The freaking cat made fun of my ears. Okay.
all right. So, the two of you appear down there, and what you see is the figure that resembles Amethyst down there was standing there, apparently motionless and just kind of like standing sort of head down and staring. But then as you appear, she looks up and just says, "The wizard, Melicanth, with you, has the capability to magically teleport you all of you away. You should just leave."
And leave you here to trap the next unfortunate person that stumbles through here.
You, ma'am, are no amethyst. And I cast Finger of Death.
Okay. All right. So what does what do they need to do?
Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Well, they actually have a pretty good constitution, so we'll see.
Enter Dark Cat.
Right? Gets it.
That is just hang on. Oh, that's just a 15.
That's a fail. So we're gonna take 6, 12. $72 points of necrotic damage.
Wow.
Just
Kid's
glad
not
you said
playing.
this earlier.
Okay.
You really
So-
gave her the finger.
I mean, right?
Okay. So here's what happens when you do that: is this bolt of necrotic energy strikes what appears to be this amethyst figure in the chest and just sort of disintegrates into red slime. But then as that happens, from tiny cracks all over the walls starts burbling out more and more and more and more of this slime until it forms this enormous ooze and reforms the figure.
Why is it just the two of us?
I may have made a mistake.
Does that even fit in there?
It is basically filling the whole half of the room.
What?
I grab Nira and I Dimension Door us back out of there.
I think before that happens, Nira, you get one more wisdom saving throw as it's
Then the -4 is still in effect?
yeah.
Or the -d4? Damn. Okay, but that wasn't terrible. Let's see. Well, I'm still gonna fail it. So 19 -2. That's a 17.
That's a fail. So your D4 is now D6. And you're gonna take 41 psychic damage. But you and Kat appear back on the roof.
So we saw the witch.
Yeah, so I think all of the rest of you are up on the roof. You see Ket and Nira disappear down into there. They're gone for a few seconds, and then as they come back, they're both looking at the rest of you just like really wide-eyed, like.
Oh.
That would probably flick Ket's ear. Just flick it. One just idiot.
I hurl myself off of the tower and commit suicide.
Okay, assuming you're not actually doing that.
No.
What you guys
Not that high
see
anyway.
now is that goo starts to emerge from one of these little holes here, and it forms into this figure that looks like Amethyst. And then all of you can see now that there's as you know, you watch her forming, you can see that there is a subtle, thin, narrow slime tether leading from this duplicate down through that hole. And the smart ones among you would probably figure out that's why there's a half-inch illusion on the ground everywhere. It's to cover the little tether. But just approaches and just says, "I'm letting you leave. Don't abuse my generosity."
Trust me, guys. We should listen to her. Let's go.
The hell are you anyway?
She's a lot more powerful
There's-
than she seems.
There's no answer that I could give you that would satisfy you. So why bother?
You calling me dumb?
Just shut up. Let's
Just
I happen
go.
to know because I have eaten all of your memories. I know exactly what each of you would understand or not. And she briefly turns, like the form shifts into each of you. Turns into a Cadence, turns into a Ket, turns into a Nira, Melicanth, Alaric, Feathercrest, and then back to this form of Amethyst. And
Jeez, I
then
gotta lose some weight.
And then actually briefly turns into current Amethyst and just says, "I will thank you. It has never before been my experience to dine on the same individual twice."
Wait a minute.
All of this has happened before, and it will happen again.
let's
Do I feel like I can't remember anything?
You
If I
can
just sort of think
remember.
through my
You can
memory.
remember later.
Melicanth, I think, is gonna turn to you, whisper to you, Nira, and just say, "It didn't negotiate before. It just tried to kill us."
We need to get it out in the open. We can't do it while it's in that enclosed space.
Agreed. And so the steps forward and just says, "I'm sure you're all plotting right now how to get me in the open." You can't. I won't. I've been doing this for a very long time. Those dwarves, that was probably 80 years ago. The mercenaries were several hundred years ago. I have more, but I enjoyed both of them. They play off of each other well.
Are you the one blocking us getting to the city?
Yes and no.
You said we can go. Can we now, like, can we go to the city now? Are you going to open the way for us?
No, what I suggest is that you go back where you came from. People trying to leave on foot would find that difficult, but I know that the one in yellow has the capability to teleport. That should do the trick.
But you see, I came from that city.
Oh, I know. That was fascinating. Listen. Because I can see that you're all determined, let me let you in on a little bit of information that I hope will lead you to make a wiser decision. What you would find, were you to go there, doesn't want you there.
That's not a first.
Can I make an insight check?
Yeah.
Really, I feel that's kind of like wherever we go. So
Yeah, that's not a
yeah,
good.
that's fair.
That's a 21.
Yeah, you think that it's not lying, but it's maybe not telling everything.
Right.
And in fact, actually, what it does just kind of say is, well, that's not entirely true. I think that it would... There is something you have that it would be very interested in. But one of you is currently carrying it in an extra-dimensional pocket, and that won't do. So, should you be prepared, for example, to give up that artifact, I'm sure you would be welcomed in. But I suspect you are not agreeable to that, so I suppose I can leave you to make that decision of your own volition, but I suggest that you do it elsewhere.
We were
Can we tell
inside.
just from looking at this thing that whether or not it's like injured or damaged at all?
It doesn't look damaged, but for example, Ket, I mean, you knew that it reacted pretty dramatically to the spell that you did. You know, it was sticking with its just this type of presentation, but when you hit it with that finger of death, like it suddenly burbled out, and it was a pretty dramatic reaction. And you felt it do the damage.
Right.
What if we don't leave?
I could continue to just feed on you gradually until you all die.
See, I don't like that plan.
I know you don't. I know each of you. I know your deepest, darkest secrets. I know everything you know. I could impersonate each and every one of you to your closest friends and family, and they wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
I don't think you can be quite as annoying as I can.
I don't know.
That is true. I mean, if we stay here, I mean, Alaric might just annoy you to death.
Oh, well, if you choose to stay, I will just kill you. I decided to give you the opportunity to leave because I've had my fill. I wanted to eat the memories from each of you, and now that I have done so, that's really all I wanted.
You know, if you've looked into our memories, you know that ploy doesn't work. We faced off against something before, and it offered to let us go. There's only one conclusion I can draw. You're afraid.
Why would I be afraid? That's nonsense.
Because you know what we can do. You can know that we're a rough and tumble bunch of people. And that there's bigger concerns than your little honeypot in the desert. You know we have big friends. And I tap in my pocket where it should know that I have a little metal bottle. And you know we have some scary allies.
Everyone make an insight check.
I'm so whammied up, I don't think I can make anything right now.
Insight. We have to subtract, right? -3.
That's an 11.
Okay.
18.
15.
Everyone who beats 11, because it rolled really badly that time, sees that
17.
as you move your hand towards that flask, the duplicate actually takes a step backwards and is clearly alarmed.
I think that you want to let us go because you know if we stay here, we're going to kill you. And we could do it too.
And they probably deserve it.
That would not be in your best interest.
Well, let's make a deal then. And I step forward.
Oh God, like we need you to go after everything we've done today.
I'll tell you what. You want to live to feed on any more travelers that might make their way into this place you call home. And we want to make our way into the city. So, how about you let us pass into the city, and my friend there will keep the lid on the bottle and not cause you any more harm. And I think that'd be a good deal for both of us, because if what you say is true, and that there's something in the city that wants us dead anyway, then either way you're going to get what you want. We're going to die here, or we're going to die there. But let us go explore it on our own. And we'll leave you alone.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
That's exactly what I wanted. Because my persuasion is a plus 14.
That's why we keep them around.
14 and 14, so 28.
Very nice. You can see this duplicate of Amethyst's face is thinking it over, and then will just say cautiously, I told the truth before when I said that what you will find inside doesn't want you there. The dragon guards its secrets very jealously. It tolerates me knowing these secrets only because I'm so useful to it. And my primary use to the dragon is keeping nosy adventurers away. I can let you through, but you'll find only death there.
You'll find we can be rather persuasive and determined.
Very well, then. I will show you the path. If
Thank
you
you.
let me live.
My friend will keep the lid on the bottle, and you will live to feed another day.
Very well, then. And as you kind of all watch, you see like the ground all the way around this oasis seem to just shimmer kind of imperceptibly, but then you notice like down by the pond there's a bunch of areas where the dirt and sand has kind of all been dug up. There's places where there's various like splatters and splashes and other things. And then what you also see is leading away from the oasis is a road. And it leads in the direction of the city in kind of a curving path. It says,
Right.
Stay on the road and you will not be diverted.
And I turn back to the group. And I look at everyone and I just say, I'm sorry for what I did to you all. Come on, Cadence. Let's go home. And I turn and walk away.
Amethyst, this other Amethyst looks to you and just says, "The last time you were in there, you came out with much less than what you went in with. I hope you will find it worth it this time."
I hope to find some of what I I hope to find some of what I lost in there.
Well, what you left behind is in two places now. In me and down there. I know you have questions. I know you don't remember because I am why. But you made those decisions when you had those memories. You submitted to my memory consumption voluntarily.
I don't know that I believe a whole lot that you have to say to me.
I can understand why you wouldn't. So perhaps I will just let you see for yourself. And gestures to the road.
Let's go then.
Alright. So do each of you go down to leave the oasis and follow that road?
There's a little bit of me who just has to do the little sort of fake out gesture at her to make her flinch before I leave.
She flinches.
Yeah. Yeah. I just walk down the side of the building.
And so, each of you then make your way along this road it is a very worn and, ruined and decaying stone road through these desert sands, but now that it is no longer hidden, you're able to follow it, and you realize as you kind of make your way back and forth on its sort of curving path that at some point, as you're coming around a turn, it's like there was some massive mountain or something in the way, and you feel like you're coming around the side of it. And as you do, there's apparently like a tunnel in the open blue sky and yellow sands, and you see through the illusion. And what you see is not the tree and the city, but a crater that is miles wide and miles deep. And that's where we'll end for tonight.
Ooh, dun dun dun.
We don't end the world. Let's make sure to put up a sign not to go to the oasis.
Blew it all up.
All right, so well done, everybody. You solved my ooze puzzle.
Wait a minute now. A goddamn crater.
Yeah.
The brochure was better.
You know, it's a good thing that you already ended because Amethyst is pissed and she's ready to go back and kill that bitch.
Well, I hadn't ended the stream yet, so I'll go ahead and do that now. But thank you, everyone, for listening and or watching, and we will return anon on so many levels. And yay, happy birthday to Starla. She almost got to die by a news. Yay! All right, good night, everyone.